Hello, everyone, and welcome to For Life Live. I'm your host, Nathan Larson. Glad to have you again this week. We appreciate all your support with this great webinar. We're having a great time making them for you, and I hope that you're utilizing them in your business. You know, this week I got very excited. I started talking to a good friend of mine, Mr. Дэйв, Datri, and as we started talking, he started telling me some of the things that he's been doing and he's been working on, and made me really feel like this would be a perfect topic for For Life Live. So I asked him if he could share it with you. Дэйv, please share it with our audience. Thank you.
Thank you, Nathan. As always, it's a privilege and a pleasure to participate in For Life Live webinars. Today I actually want to go over some simple ABCs in order to help you all be very successful with For Life. And everybody has their own definition of success. Maybe it's having a new car, a new home, or complete financial independence. Whatever it is, For Life can help you achieve that. But there's some simple ABCs you need to follow. A stands for action. Nothing happens until you take action. And what I mean by action is, first of all, you're listening to this For Life Live webinar, so you're taking action. But understand there's a formula that I feel is very important. I call it the 80-20 formula. 80% of your time should be talking to people, telling the For Life story, telling the transfer factor story, sharing the plan with people as to how they can use these incredible For Life products to help establish and maintain good health, how they can participate in the opportunity so that they too can be successful. So 80% of your time is talking to people for yourself. Those are people that you have gone out to, that you know or you've prospected, and you're telling them the story, or you're talking to your people's people. And that's what a lot of people don't get. They go out and talk to people, but you need to get into their circle of influence and talk to your people's people. And you'll find that that's pretty simple to do, because the people that don't know you can't judge you. Those that know you can look at you and try to influence you and tell you, you've never been successful before, so why is this going to be any different? You see? So you need to spend 80% of your time talking to people. The more that you talk, the more that you share this with people, the more successful you will be. 20% of your time, you need to be planning, preparing. Vince Lombardi, one of the greatest football coaches, said, it's not just the will to win, but the will to prepare to win. What I mean by prepare, you need to understand the For Life Rewards plan. You need to understand the transfer factor story. You need to understand some bullet points about For Life. And I'm not going to get into all those. You can find those on the For Life website, on other For Life Live webinars that you've heard. But 20% of your time is preparing. It's your agenda, working on the busy stuff that you can actually do early in the morning or at nighttime, after you've spent your day talking to people, your evening talking to people. Whether you're doing this full-time or part-time, the formula is still the same. When you're working For Life, 80% of your time talking to people, presenting. 20% doing your busy work. Okay? Now, nothing will happen unless you do that. We as distributors get paid, and we get paid a lot of money for doing one simple thing. And that one thing is presenting the plan day after day after day. For Life doesn't do, television commercials. You're not going to see, For Life commercial at the Super Bowl. Okay? So we get paid for talking. It's that simple. So get out there and share the word. Tell people about it. Okay? You'll find that as you get out and talk to people, you're going to find that maybe 1 or 2 in 100 have heard of For Life and Transfer Factor. What does that mean? Opportunity. B is to believe. We all begin with faith. When I began For Life almost 16 years ago, it was faith. I wasn't successful yet. In fact, I was so broke, I had a kind of a funny saying, I'm so broke I can't even pay attention. That's how bad it was. So, now things have changed. Why? Because I've used this 80-20 formula, talking to people and talking to my people's people as well to be successful in building the For Life business. But I began with faith. I had to have faith in order to believe that the success would come. Okay? If you believe, it will happen. Now, things are different today, because when I began almost 16 years ago, at the time, nobody knew much about anything with For Life, and everyone was wondering if it was even going to be a real company. Well, there's no question now. When you look at 23 corporate offices around the world selling products, For Life products are now in, I'd say, over 70, if not 80 countries. So there's no question whether or not For Life's a successful company. We have grown and broke records every year for 15 plus years straight now. So there's no question. But you have to believe. Believe in your company, believe in your product, and believe in yourself most of all. So B stands for believe. C, commitment. Are you committed? What do I mean by commitment? A commitment doesn't mean, well, I'll talk to a couple of people and that's pretty much it. Commitment means you're going to take and dedicate 1 year of your life working the For Life business. Think about it. How many people start a business? How many entrepreneurs get involved in an entrepreneurial project or business and only work it for a month or two? You're not going to be successful at all. You need to dedicate 1 year of hard work, whether it's part-time or full-time. It's still hard work, and sharing this with people. If you do that, you'll find that at the end of a year, you're going to be successful to the point you're going to want to continue on to year number 2. And that's what I focused on. I actually took things 90-day increments at a time. I'd planned my goals for 90 days. How many people am I going to talk to daily? And my goal was 10 a day. And that didn't matter. I open my mouth and share the message. If it's in a room full of 10 brand new people, I've accomplished my goal at 10 a day. If I have to talk to 10 people individually, I accomplish my goal. But I found it's a lot easier if I talk to someone. Once I finally sign that person up, that person knows people. Well, if they share 4 or 5 contacts with me and they line it up and I get to talk to them, that counts towards my 10 because those people are not yet signed up in For Life. So be committed to what you're doing. Believe in what you're doing. And take action. Now, I did discover a letter D during my For Life career. And it happened with an experience I had one day. I was very down. I had bought, a friend of mine helped me buy a car as a little Toyota Corolla. And I'd only had the car for a couple of months, and I was in a car accident, smashed the whole driver's side in an accident on Christmas Day, of all days. And I drove around for months getting in and out of the passenger side of that car because the driver's side wouldn't open. And after doing that for a while, I got pretty tired. People were looking at me. It was embarrassing driving around in a car. And how am I going to go talk to people about success and making money when I'm driving a little Toyota Corolla? It looked like a little tomato. It was supposed to be red, but it was so opaque or faded, the paint, because of the sun, that it looked like a tomato. And so here I am climbing in and out of the passenger side. How am I going to go talk to people about success? So I worked the telephone. And at the time, we didn't really have a whole lot of internet stuff going on in 1998 and 1999. And so I would just use the telephone, do conference calls, and talk to people. But I discovered one day when I was driving that little car, I was climbing out of the passenger side, and 3 kids were in another car looking at me laughing as they saw me climbing out because I broke the console in the middle of the seats. I'd gotten in and out of the passenger side so many times it broke and I fell. I looked up and those little kids were laughing at me. Well, I thought, you know what? I am willing to do whatever I have to do to be successful. And something overcame me. I thought, Dave, you need to declare yourself. Declare yourself. Are you going to let other people influence you? Or am I going to let other people influence me? Or am I going to take action and influence other people by declaring myself, who I am, what I'm about, and where I'm going? And I'm inviting you to come along for the ride, you see. And once I started doing that and I really declared myself, I found doors opening. It was just amazing how my business started to grow. My attitude was very different. So A stands for action. You need to take action day after day when you're working your For Life business. Believe in what you're doing. Even though you're maybe beginning with faith, it's okay. You have to believe in what you're doing. Believe in your company, your product, but believe in yourself most of all. C, be committed. All right? Don't just do this for a day or a week. This is a business just like any other business. Therefore, treat it that way and apply yourself for at least 1 year of hard work. Be committed. And D, declare yourself. You're going to find that there are people that will be observing you, looking at you, and they're going to try to persuade you or influence you that, you can't do this. If you declare yourself, you will do it, and you will be successful. We'll see you, hopefully, at an event, For Life event, For Life convention, but for sure we'll see you at the top. Bye for now. Thank you, Nathan. Back to you.
Wow. I'm ready to go. Are you ready to go? The ABCs from Dave Datri. Love it. You know the only thing? It kept inspiring me to go to the next level. E. E for effort. You got to put forth the effort. Do everything Dave talked about, but you got to put that effort out there. If you do a little bit of effort, you might have a little bit of success. Do a little bit more, you might have a little bit more. You want a lot of success, you got to put forth a lot of effort. You can do this. You can make this happen. I know you can. Take what Dave just taught you, apply it to your business, and we'll see you out there on the road. Thank you for joining me on 4Life Live.